Anything is possible if you've just got the courage to try. Just try. And I'm glad you're here today to try your Yoga Plus. Yoga Plus. What's the plus? The plus is dogs. No, the plus is it's yoga, but we also add in on Fridays some barre, some Pilates, and some hand weights just to kind of make you stronger and just to shake it up a little bit and just have fun. I'm Jan. This is 316 Yoga. This is Piper. That's Bonnie. And this is your yoga from home. This is your yoga from home. And I really mean doing it from home, doing it your way. You're dressed however you like. You've turned off all the distractions around you, and you're just taking this little bit of time in your home to do your yoga your way. Do it your way. Don't hurt your body. That's what the bottom of our screen says. Do it your way. Modify to make it work for you. If you only do something 1 or 2 times, or if you do it with no weights at all, it's all good because you're doing. That's the ticket. Just do. Every day our practices are different. And every day, come back, check it out and see. I hope you like the practice. Today, the word to think about is laugh. Laugh. Don't take your yoga so seriously. Laugh means something that's full of mirth, something that makes you happy, something that's pleasing, something that makes you smile, something that makes you have fun. So let your yoga do that for you. Don't take things too seriously, especially your yoga. Don't take it too seriously. Just move your body. You're going to need some props today. If you don't have any of them, that's okay too. Just kind of make it work for you. But get some of the props, buy them. You need 2 yoga blocks. We always use those. A strap. Usually you can buy the blocks and a strap together. You can use a belt to your robe. A little hand towel, little eye shade is great for your final Shavasana pose. Another thing we've added in recently is the band. You can have a resistance band. You don't have it, no sweat. You can still do the practice and get a lot out of it. A little bender ball or a therapy ball, squishy, you can see that, and it isn't fully inflated. That's a great thing to have because it creates an unstable surface. Last thing, a couple little hand weights. These are 3-pound weights. If you don't have any weights, you can get 2 water bottles and lift them. Have some water handy too to drink. All right. That's what you need. Let's get started. Come on up to standing. We'll do our warm-up. As you're coming up to standing, think in your mind, what's going on stress-wise in your life? Lock in a stress number, scale of 1 to 5, 1 to 10. Where are you right now? Lock it in, and we're going to bring that number down, and it'll feel really good when we're done. All right, so let's begin with our usual little warm-up. Your feet, they're about hip-width distance apart. Place your hands on your hips. Drive your elbows to the back of the room. Lift your chest to the sky. Did you like that? Lift your chest to the sky. Soften in the shoulders. Drive the elbows back. Chest is big and broad. You're picking up some space. This is a stand of confidence. You should have it more often. When you're ready, let's pop on up onto the balls of the feet. As you're doing this, you're strengthening your calves. Yeah, you can start to feel them. Strengthening your calves, strengthening your foundation in your feet. Lift and lower. Maybe do this when you brush your teeth every day too. So it'll help you strengthen what's down there, and it'll help you balance better. So have your heels behind your toes. Lift and lower. Find your balance. You got it. Occasionally rock back onto your heels. Lift the balls of the feet up, or lift the toes up, and then wiggle your toes. And then come back to lifting and lowering. Finish up. Place your feet down. Lift your arms high up to the sky. Stretch it out in what's called an extended mountain pose. Fingers are lifted. Chest is still lifted to the sky. Breathe. Interlace your fingers. Send your palms high up to the sky and start to sway from side to side for your gentle palm tree pose. Just stretch it out. Oh, how does it feel? Should feel pretty good. Take it as deep as is right for you. Something you could have here is a chair. You could have a chair by your side, put your hand on the chair, and reach. That's good too. Breathe. Remember to breathe. Big inhales through your nose if you can. And big exhales through your mouth. Sigh it out, let it go, make a sound. Let it go. That helps the stress go. When you're ready, finish up. Come back to the midline, hands to your low back. Squeeze your elbows toward the back of the room. Lift through your chest again. Feel the opening up through your chest. We did a lot of chest opening yesterday in our restorative practice. Hopefully you feel good. Push your hips forward. Look up, up, up overhead. Chin goes to the sky. Breathe. And as you exhale, hollow out your belly. That's what the exhale is good for. And hinge forward. Hinge forward, let the arms hang toward the earth. A little bend in your knees might feel pretty good. You could have that chair here, and you could have your hands on the chair, the seat of the chair as well. Do what feels good, but get into your neck. Let the crown of your head hang toward the earth as you look to your knees, or maybe try to look up towards your navel. Hands can be on the ground or not, whatever works. And remember, put a little bend in your knees. Try that. Sweep the arms on up, extended mountain pose. This is your little warm-up. Doesn't it feel good? Don't you feel like the blood starting to course through your body? All right, let's put a bend in our knees and start to do some arm circles. Bend in the knees when the hands come down. Let the arms go up, 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 and then straighten the legs. So you're working the knees, you're working the shoulders. Breathe. When you're ready, arm circles in the other direction. How does that feel? And it doesn't matter how big your arm circles are. Just move them. Let it feel good. Come on up to standing. Lengthen through your fingertips. Big breath in. Shoulder softening breath out. Bring your arms down by your sides. Send your shoulders over your hips. Maybe your eyes are closed. If your eyes are closed, you're challenging your balance a little bit here. Eyes can be open too. It's up to you. Start to sway from side to side, letting your shoulders be heavy, letting your arms be heavy. And just let the arms swing. Little controlled twist in your waist. Eyes are closed, you're challenging your balance. Eyes are open, really look with your eyes over your shoulder. Finish up. Slow the arms down, let's do ragdoll pose. Come back to the midline of your body, send your shoulders back a little bit more so you have nice straight posture. Lengthen up as you take a big inhale through the crown of your head. And as you exhale, fold forward. Wiggle your feet so they're hip-width distance apart. Take your hands to opposite elbow creases. Look back to your knees. A little bend in them feels good. Hands are at opposite elbows. Breathe here as you feel the decompression in your low back. Like a rag doll, start to sway from side to side. Maybe like almost drawing little figure eights on the earth with your elbows. Sway from side to side. Think of creating space in your low back. No tension there, just space, allowing your low back to move, be fluid, be mobile, also important. And check out your head. Try to look back to the knees or the navel. Finish up, come back to the midline. Release your fingers toward the earth, lift your toes up and give them a wiggle. Walk your hands forward. Let's come down to a child's pose. In your child's pose, lots of ways to take it. You know that. Today I'm going to take it with the ball at the top of the mat. Knees can be together, big toes touching, hips back to the heels. You can use a block, and think of the block as bringing the ground up to you to make this more accessible. You can plant your head on the block, arms down by your sides. Find length in your spine here. You don't have to use the block if you don't want to. You can remove it and bring your head down to the mat. There's your classic child's pose. I'm going to do an extended child's pose. Knees spread wide, hips go back to the heels. Arms are going to reach up for this ball, and I'm going to place my hands on the ball. Forehead can come down to that block if you want, or to your mat. I'm going to start to massage this ball into the mat, moving it to the left, moving it to the right. Feeling the nice big stretch in my armpits and up my side body. Breathe, move that ball. If you don't have the ball, no big deal. Maybe spider walk, all 10 fingers to one side of your mat. And then spider walk, that's good for Halloween, right? Spider walk your fingers to the other side. You don't like that at all, just reach, reach, reach to the top of your mat. Push your hands into the mat. Sink your tailbone back even farther. Big breath in, big sighing breath out. You can close your lips here and breathe in and out of your nose only if you like that type of breathing. It's called Ujjayi Pranayama. It helps you sound like Darth Vader. It helps you build heat in your body. Focus only on the sound of your breath. Block out the outside world and enjoy the mobility that you're finding right here, right now. Come back to your child's pose anytime you want. Maybe you stay in your child's pose. Give yourself permission to do exactly what feels great for your body today. Another big breath in. and a big breath out. Let's come out of this child's pose if you want. So to come out of your child's pose, bring your hands underneath your shoulders, bring your knees so they're underneath your hips, and let's do a forearm stretch. So you're in a neutral tabletop. Take your fingers, bring your fingers back towards your knees and have your forearms shining forward. Move your hips from side to side. Move them back towards your bottom. Maybe move the weight into your fingertips as your palms come up off of the mat. Just move your body so you feel a good stretch in your forearms. Oh, stretch them out. Doesn't this feel nice? It should feel good. If it doesn't feel good, don't do it or take it to a lesser degree. Do you like popping up onto the fingers, letting the palms come up? Is that too intense or does that feel good? Evaluate and assess what's good for you. All right, let's finish up. Although I could stay in this, I think, all day long. Feels so good for me. All right, let's take the weight out of our hands, wiggle your fingers, let them go, and let's go into a toes pose. We're gonna do a toes pose, ankle pose, flow. So tuck your toes towards your shins. Have the blocks by your sides. Sit back on your toes as best you can. If this does not feel comfortable, come out of it. Well, I'll say if it hurts. Come out of it. If it's not comfortable, you can breathe through discomfort. You've done more uncomfortable things than this. You're strengthening your feet. You're stretching out the fascia in the feet. There's a big band of fascia that goes from the sole of your foot all the way up your body to the back of your skull. It helps you move. Fascia helps you move. Fascia keeps everything lubricated. All right, so here you are in your toes pose as best you can. Let's take it to an ankle flow. Using the blocks, bring the tops of your feet onto the mat. Using the blocks, press into them. Let your knees come up and stretch out your ankles. Go back and forth from the toes pose to the ankle pose. And if you think about what's happening, think of that full range of motion you're encouraging in your ankles. I'm going to go back to toes pose. I'm going to sit back on my toes, driving my shoulders back, feeling the intensity. Breathe. This, for me at least, is one of those kind of poses you hate to love or love to hate, whatever you want to say. It's intense, isn't it? Try to soften in your feet. Don't hold the tension there. Just think, there's space in my toes. I can do this. I'm going to go back to an ankle pose. You know how long to hold it in each one for you. A couple of breaths, let it be. And you know what? In your ankle pose, with the knees up, how far do you want to take it? Maybe push into the blocks. Maybe take it a little farther. Maybe you want to challenge your balance a little bit. Put the blocks aside and balance on the tops of your feet. How is that? Hopefully it's fun. All right, let's finish up here. Do you like this? Do it throughout the weekend. Try your toes pose and ankle pose. All right, let's come back to a neutral tabletop. In your neutral tabletop position, let's do cat-cow. Knees under hips, wrists under shoulders. Press into the earth with the tops of your feet in your hands, fingers spread wide. Lengthen through your tailbone and the crown of your head. As you take a big exhale, tuck your chin to your chest and your tailbone tucks under. Tucking your tailbone under. Think of your tailbone trying to meet your forehead. Inhale, cow pose, just the opposite. Crown of the head and tailbone lift. Keep pushing hard into your feet and into your hands. Do a couple rounds of cat-cow. Exhale for cat. Inhale for cow. Doesn't it feel good? Take it to the extent that feels good to you. And remember, pushing into your feet and pushing into your hands really hard, resisting the earth, intensifies the pose. All right, let's finish up. Neutral tabletop position. Let's do a variation of your cat pose that we haven't done lately. All right, extend your right leg long. Plant the ball of your foot onto your mat. Push hard into your hands and push hard into the ball of that foot. Feel the strength that you have in your calf. Didn't know it was there, right? All right, let's give a little nod back to toes pose here. Keep pressing into the ball of that right foot. Your left leg, tuck your toes towards your shin, and then pop on up so the knee is just hovering above the mat. Knee is hovering above the mat, but don't change the intensity of the intense stretch, the intense pushing of the right foot into the earth. Hold it here, and then let's finish. Come on down. Right knee meets left knee. Now it's the left side's turn. Extend the left leg long, ball of the left foot on the mat. Push the ball of the foot into the mat really hard. How does it feel? Push. Breathe. You can stay here. You know, it's all layers, right? If you don't like a layer, go back to the way it was before. I'm going to tuck my right toes under, pop up out of the right knee, kind of like a little bit of a sprinter, and hold here. Push the ball of that foot. Push into the earth. The knee's just a little bit above the mat. Breathe. You're strong. And then finish. Knee comes down. Left knee meets right. Let's do bird dog pose. All right, you can use your ball here if you like, or no ball at all is fine. I'm going to place the ball underneath my right knee. Creates an unstable surface. I'm going to tuck the right toes under, so I got a little kickstand on the right leg. I'm going to lift on up my left leg and extend it long to the back of the room. Draw the left toes toward the shin. Breathe here. Find your balance on this ball. Left leg is lifted to about hip height, nice and straight and long. You can challenge your balance a little bit more by adding in the right arm. Left leg is lifted and long. Take the right arm off of the mat and reach to the front of the room. Think really a lot of length between your right fingertips and your left heel. Breathe and hold. And then finish. Right hand comes down, left knee comes down. Let's do it again on the other side. Ball underneath the left knee, left toes tuck for a little kickstand. Maybe staying right here is what you want to do. Push the earth away. Maybe you want to lift the right leg up just a little bit, or extend it long, driving through the heel, hips equidistant to the mat. Right leg is lifted. This time we'll lift the left arm. Stretch, reach, find length, find distance from fingertips to heel. Hold, be strong. This is a big pose. You've got it. Left hand comes down, right knee comes down. That's your bird dog on the ball. Okay, let's do fire hydrant and donkey kick. Lots of ways you can do this. I'm going to do it with the ball for my fire hydrant today. You could use a weight. You could use your band around the thighs. You do what you like. I'm going to use the ball behind the right leg. Lift the right leg up, keeping it bent so you can hold onto that ball. Toes toward the shin, right hip equidistant to the ground as the left hip. Breathe here, hold here. Bring the right knee to meet the left, but just hover the right knee. Now start to lift the right leg to the side of the room. Think as if you were a Dalmatian, or maybe you're a little dachshund. Maybe you're just lifting the leg a little bit to the side. So think dog on a fire hydrant, right? Lift and lower. Breathe. Get into that hip. Let's lift it up nice and high. Pulse it up to the sky. Pulse the outside of the right knee up, up, up. And then finish. Right knee hovers next to left. Hold it here for a moment. Lift the right knee up to about hip height. Hold it here. Dial the right hip down. Push into the earth. Just hold it. And let's finish. Right knee meets left. Right knee comes down. Let's do fire hydrant pose on the other leg. So I'm going to bring the ball, or no ball at all. Up to you. You can do it. You just make it work. Left knee is on the mat. Right knee is on the mat. Left toes tuck toward the shin. Lift, lift, lift. The left leg up. Hold it here. Left hip dials down. Hold it for a second. Feel the strengthening building in your low back. Hold it. Left knee hovers on the mat right next to the right one. Now start to lift and lower to the left side of your room. Breathe. That's the most important part. Breathe. Breathe. Lift. Lower. Lift. Press into the earth. Lift the leg nice and high. Pulse the left knee up, up, up to the sky. How is that? Now, let's finish. Left knee hovers next to right. Left knee lifts to about hip height. Hold it right here. Breathe. Dial the left tip down so they're equidistant. Oh, that feels different, doesn't it? Bring the left knee to meet the right. Place it down. I'm going to switch from the ball to a weight. And we're going to now do our donkey kicks. I'm going to use the weight, but you can use the ball or nothing. You decide. Ball behind the right knee. Hold on to it. Lift the right knee up to about hip height. Draw the toes toward the shin. Now pulse the foot up, up, up to the sky. Pulse it up. Take your time with this. Hips are equidistant to the mat. Hands are engaged too. They're pushing hard into the earth. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Can you lift it a little higher? Think of stamping your foot, your flat foot, on top of the ceiling. Lift it a little higher, but don't lose that weight. Breathe. Let's finish. Right knee, just let it hover next to the left. Check in with your hips, hold it here. Right knee comes down. Take the weight, the ball, your water bottle, nothing at all behind the other knee. Press into the earth. Lift the left knee up. Toes drawn toward the shin. Lift it up. Foot, pulse it up. Up, up, up to the sky. Dial your left hip down. You're looking between your thumbs. Little teeny pulses. Up, up, up. You got it. Think of the good things you're doing for your hips here. You moved, you externally rotated it in your fire hydrant. Now think of stretching out that hip flexor, the big band in the front of your hip that allows you to lift your foot to go up and down stairs. Keep lifting, keep lifting, keep lifting higher, higher. When you're ready, let's finish here. Left knee hovers next to right. Hold it. Place the knee down. Remove the weight. Now, with no weights at all, let's do some donkey kicks another way. All right, nothing behind your knee this time, and you'll see why. All right, lift your leg up, 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 and extend it long, the right leg. Extend it long. Reach it. Now just lift that extended leg up, up, up to the sky. Pulse it nice and long. Heel is going up to the sky. Finish. Hold the heel nice and high. Now bend the knee as if you're kicking yourself in the bottom. Little teeny kicks in the bottom. Now extend the leg long and then kick. Extend the leg long and kick. Extend it long, bend the knee and draw it toward your nose. And then extend it long. Bend the knee, draw it toward your nose as you arch your back and extend it long. A few of those. And then finish. Knee comes to meet other knee on the mat. We'll take it to the left side now. From your neutral tabletop, lift your left knee up, up, up. Extend it long, long, long. Drive through your heel. Hold it here and start to pulse the straight leg. Up, up, up to the sky. Breathe. Pressing into your hands. You're looking at your thumbs right between them. Neck is long. Let's finish here. Start to kick yourself in the bottom. Little teeny kicks in the bottom. Left hip dialed down. How are you doing? Breathe. Extend the left leg long. Now start to tuck the left knee towards your nose. Press into the earth. Extend the leg long. Tuck it and send it long. How is that? Tuck it and send it long. Tuck it. Send it long. Push into the earth when you're tucking under. Send it long. Reach and lengthen here, and then finish. Knee comes down. You know what would feel really good here is a child's pose, a wide-legged child's pose. Send your knees wide to the sides of the mat, hips back towards your heels. Reach your arms long to the top. Take a breather. Breathe. Did a lot with your hips. Let's build some more core strength with plank. Plank pose, oh my goodness. All right, let's come into it. Press on up to a neutral tabletop. In your neutral tabletop, lots of ways you can take plank. In a plank, everything is engaged, so it's your choice. You can move your hands a little more forward, staying on your knees, hinging your weight forward, pressing into your hands, you'll feel the shift of the weight into your arms. Keep your shoulders underneath or over. Keep your shoulders over your wrists underneath your shoulders. You can stay on your knees. You can draw your toes under. You can press on up through straight legs and come into a high plank. Wrists don't like this? Come on down to your forearms. Hands spread wide on your mat. Send your legs long. Lengthen through the crown of your head and your tailbone, and there you have a dolphin plank. Take the variation of plank that you like. I'm going to take a plank variation today where I'm going to tap each opposite shoulder. All right, so it'll be 3 points of contact on the mat and then tapping each shoulder. I'm going to set a 1-minute timer. You can time yourself. You don't have to time yourself. You know you got a minute. You can go get a glass of water. All right, so I'm going to come into a high plank. Let's start the timer now. All right, so in this high plank, you find length through your spine and your tailbone first. Wrists underneath the shoulders, feet hip-width distance apart. If you want to try, lift one hand and tap the opposite shoulder. Take a break, press into the earth, then reach the other hand and tap the other shoulder. There are other ways to take breaks too. You could send your hips high to the sky. You could come down to your knees. Guess what? We are halfway done. You're 30 seconds in. I'm going to do another shoulder tap, then maybe another. Push hard into the earth. Maybe tap the shoulders. Lengthen through your spine. You got 20 seconds to go. You can do anything for 20 seconds. Just try, right? All right, we got about 10 seconds to go. Press into the earth. Let it be. Maybe tap a shoulder. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. Come down to your knees. That wasn't too bad, right? Try. That's all you got to do. I need a drink of water. Then we're going to go into some stuff that will work our core. All right. Grab a drink. And for this one, you know a lot of these, but I'm going to take the ball, and you might want to have your ball and your strap at about shoulder height so you can reach them pretty easily. All right, we're seated, legs are long. Take your ball behind your low back. Now, if you don't like this feeling, ditch the ball. If you don't have the ball, no big deal. I'm going to lean back on this ball. Chest is lifted. I'm leaning onto the ball like it's a beach chair. Breathe, hold here. You're working your core. How does it feel? I'm going to change it up. I'm going to bend my knees, open up my knees to the side of the room, and have the soles of my feet touch. No ball at all, you could be completely lying down. Now, if you're lying down, bring your fingers lightly to your temples, elbows open wide, and little lifts and lowers out of your chest with your chin going up to the sky. I'm on the ball. Today I'm going to reach my parallel arms between my legs. Reach, reach, reach. Knees open wide. Holding on here. Being strong. Lifting and lowering. Little lifts, little lowers. That ball is wedged behind my back. It's not going anywhere. I'm going to reach my hands to surround my right knee. Breathe. Little twist. Reaching. Right hand is on the outside of the right knee. Left hand is on the inside. Back to center, just kind of reground. Take it to the other side. Surround the left knee. Lift, lower. Look at the left knee. Little twist. If you're lifting and lowering on the ground without the ball, how are you doing? Little lifts, little lowers. Let's finish. Let's come back to center. Let's sit on up, nice and straight. Sit on up, nice and straight. Remove the ball. Is the ball your friend or is the ball a nemesis? I like the ball. I think it really helps a lot. Makes it kind of fun. All right, I'm going to use the band now. I'm going to do bicycle pose. I'm going to tie the band around my feet. I'm going to tie it pretty tightly. Now, if you want to up your challenge, you could double the band around your feet. No band, no problem. You can still do it. Let's come back to fully reclined. Once you're fully reclined, let's bend the knees. Drag the heels up, knees over hips. Legs long, toes drawn toward your shin. Ride a recumbent bike. Start to pedal through your legs. Breathe. Band makes it a little bit harder, doesn't it? Maybe peel the shoulders on up. Maybe bring the fingertips to the temples. These are all maybes. Do them if you want. And then when one knee is bent, bring the opposite elbow toward that knee while the other leg extends. So do the variation of bicycle that speaks to you today. Breathe. Arms can be down by your sides. Just pedal through. Breathe through. You got it. Let's finish. Come on down. Remove your band if you used it. Find your favorite ball again. Place it between your ankles and send your legs long. Now, the ball. You can do a couple of things with it. No ball at all. No problem. We're going to do hundreds. A pose from Pilates. All right. So here's what you can do with the ball. You can squeeze the ball. No ball. Draw your toes up toward the sky. Heels down toward the earth. If you would like, you can bring your ankles up on top of the ball. Kind of creates an unstable surface. See what you like. Another variation. Squeeze and hug that ball, and I'll tell you what we're going to do in just a second. Arms down by your sides. When you're ready, think of slipping your hands further down towards your feet. Come on now, you can take them another inch or two closer to your feet. Maybe lift the shoulders on up, lift the arms on up, lift the feet on up, and start to pat the ground. Take whichever variation of this you like. Maybe you prefer to keep your shoulders down. The idea is we're going to pat the ground 100 times, but who's counting, right? Don't count. Hold it. If you're squeezing the ball, give it a good tight squeeze. Maybe even pulse it in. You do this as long as is right for you. Who cares about the number, right? Whew, just make it work. Pulse, pulse, pulse. If you're resting your heels on the ball, just embrace that unsteady surface. Maybe peel your shoulders up a little bit more. Let it be the way you like it to be. Breathe. And let's finish. Come on down. Arms go high overhead. Feet off the ball. Point your toes. Point your fingers. Stretch it out. How does it feel? Let's press on up. Remove the ball. And let's find our weights. Come to your knees. Once you're on your knees, let's do a crescent lunge with these weights. All right, first thing, bring your right foot forward, knee over ankle, nice and stable. Remember how we tucked the back leg earlier? Let's do the same thing. Tuck your back toes under. You can stay right here. Let's stay here to start. Bring your weights to your shoulders and start to lift them up to the sky. You can do one weight at a time. You can do both weights. Now here's another variation. If you want your back knee, let's just pop up out of that knee so it's hovering above the earth, keeping your right knee over your right ankle. You hover this left knee if it feels good and right today. Lift and lower the weights. You're looking forward. Remember, you can do one weight at a time. Now, got the rhythm down here. Let's straighten our legs when the weights come up and put the bend back into the knees as low as you want to go when the weights come down. Lift and straighten, maybe. Bring them on down to the shoulder and lower. How do you like it? Like it so much? Let's do the other side. Bring your left knee down. Bring the right knee to meet the left. Switch it out. Left knee comes forward, knee over ankle. Let's start here with the weights. One at a time, or both. You decide. Maybe tuck the back toes under. Maybe lift slightly out of the back knee. Lift and lower the weights. Left thigh parallel to the earth. Maybe when the weights come down, you come down. Weights come up, you straighten through the legs. Come down and up. Woo. Down and up. Up and down. Down and up. Let's do it. Let's finish. Come on up to standing. Right leg meets left. How did you do? Whew. Big stretch, right? Maybe grab a drink of water. I'm gonna bring the weights to my shoulders. Feet hip width distance apart. Lift and lower the weights to the sky. But you're stable in your legs now. Maybe one weight up, then the other. Breathe. Whew. Breathe. Breathe. All right, now let's take the arms, tee them out, pulse them up ever so slightly. Breathe. Bend one elbow, bringing the weight to the shoulder, and look to the extended arm. Now switch it. Extend the opposite arm, bend the opposite arm, and look to the extended arm's hand. Alternate. Breathe. Move your neck. Turn your neck. Chin to shoulder. You got it. How are you doing? Breathe. You're strong. You're stronger than you think. You know what? You have lesser weights. It's all right. It's all good. It's more about the motion than it is the weight. The weights just give you a little resistance. Let's do it. All right, let's finish. Bring your arms extended, nice and long. Flip the weights so your palms are face down. I'm thankful for that. Pulse them down like a little bird. Pulse them, pulse them, pulse them. How are you doing? Oh yeah, feels good. Tell yourself that. Let's finish. Weights down by your sides. Shoulders away from your ears. Let's do a drinking bird. All right. Root into your feet. Put a bend in your knees. Your gaze is still forward. Shoulders are back, shoulders are down. Put a bend in your knees. How are you doing? Now, let's take these weights and send them to the back of the room. So you're sending the edge of the weight to the back wall. Staying open in your chest. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Send the weights way far back as you can get them. Now pulse them in towards your low back. Your toes, your feet. Can you pop up onto the balls of your feet? Chest is forward, shoulders over hips. Sink a little bit lower. Find that sweet spot. Breathe, hold. Your quads are loving you right now. Breathe, pulse the weights in. Breathe, keep breathing. Let's finish. Feet come down, arms by your side. Take a big breath in. And a big shoulder softening breath out. The weights help get those shoulders away from the ears, don't they? Move your neck. All right, let's work the triceps. Lift your arms up to your extended mountain. Now bend your elbows. You can ditch one weight if you want. Hold on tight. Biceps by your ears. Weights down your neck. Hug the elbows in. Breathe here. Hold it here. Let the weight be heavy. Stretch out your triceps. As you're ready, lift your arms nice and straight to the sky, and then rebend them. Lift and lower. Whew, how are you doing? How does it feel? Lift, lower, lift, lower. Come on, your arms are strong. You got it. Triceps are strong. We can do this. All right. Let's give the arms a break. Lift the arms up high to the sky. Take the arms parallel to each other. Reach them forward with the palms face down. Palms face down. Now little teeny pulses. Down, down, down. This isn't really giving the arms a break, is it? That's all right. Think it is. Breathe. You're strong. Flip your hands so your palms are now face up and little teeny pulses. Up, up, up. Oh my goodness, I've had enough. I've had enough. Let's finish. Arms down by your sides. Let the arms, shoulders relax. Arms are heavy. Let's hinge forward. Place your weights down and find your resistance band. If you don't have the resistance band, no problem. All right, take your resistance band. Let's do, month of October, we gotta do a monster walk, right? This is great for your glutes. All right, take the band, tie it high on your lower leg, just beneath your knees. Tie it fairly tightly. You'll see, pretty intense. All right, now stand with your legs a little bigger than hip width distance apart. Now you want to put a bend in your body, shoulders over your hips as best you can. I mean, you're going to lean forward, but don't accentuate the lean forward. Kind of so look forward. Shoulders over your hips, knees spread wide, hands on your hips, or you can put them out in front of you. It's up to you, however you want. Start to take little steps to one side. Little steps, but try to keep your knees over your ankles. You don't want them to splay out too much or collapse in. Try to keep the knees over the ankles. Keep your gaze forward, and you're starting to feel it in your backside, right? So walk to one side of your mat, then the other. Little steps, couple inches each way. All right, pretty intense, isn't it? Even without the band, it's plenty intense. This is your banded squat with a little monster walk. You could also walk forward and backward. So maybe try that a few times. Forward and then backward. Keeping the knees nice and solid. Knees over your ankles. Walk forward and back, side to side.